Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon. Today we are taking a look at DC United Batman Hush. So DC United was a huge game found campaign for CMON and will be delivering hopefully around the end of this year. But this one was always announced from the beginning that it would be a retail-only release, essentially released by Spin Masters. But the minis and everything else, the game was developed by CMON. So this is a core box. You can see right here, it says core box. I'm assuming I picked this copy up on Amazon. I'm assuming we're going to start seeing it in places like Walmart that has carried the Marvel United line. But this is the first DC United product that is out there. So very excited to get Batman, Superman out on the board, Robin up against the Joker or Hush. I'm not that familiar with the character Hush, but the rest of the classic villains are in here. Catwoman, I think she may be one of the purple, could go either way heroes. I know that Superman actually is too, because he is controlled by, I think it's Poison Ivy in this one. Anyways, very excited for this. So let's take a look at what's inside here. And nice and tight. Oof. All right, so along the edges here, we are seeing what we've got. We've got Batman Classic, Robin, Tim Drake, Catwoman Goggles, Huntress, Superman Controlled, Hush, Harley Quinn, and the Joker. So no Poison Ivy, which is interesting. Now we're going to get a Poison Ivy when our, all-in Conqueror pledge of DC United delivers. So if it's just a matter of a mini, it's interesting this is threaded instead of just glued. Anyways, a lot of this should look very familiar, especially if you have watched our coverage on the channel. So yeah, Superman is the only kind of purple, could go either way. Looks like we do have some hero cards for Superman, so he also is considered a villain. And the Joker and Harley Quinn are like a dual villain to be played here, so that's cool. But yeah, really nice. Like, the paper feels upgraded compared to what CMON has put out in the past. I don't know if that's Spin Masters doing, but yeah, all of this looks familiar, except for one of the biggest changes they've added for DC United is that some of the villains have under pressure effects. So once you have cleared that first mission and the villain is under pressure, they have additional things that fire off. So that should add some variety to the gameplay. I'm assuming there's equipment. I didn't see equipment listed in here. No, okay, yeah, here, equipment. Obviously, Batman has some equipment. Equipment was added in the kind of the third round of Marvel United. All right, these look exactly the same, so we'll be utilizing our plastic tokens. We have a Poison Ivy token here. Everything else, again, looks the same, so we should be able to use our plastic tokens. Here's a BAM, and here is, what's this one? Yeah. So nothing in this set except for the one Poison Ivy token, which will eventually be able to replace this with a mini. This is the only thing that you would need to really punch out if you have the plastic tokens or other tokens. So you have them organized somewhere. They're all the same. So same system, same game system. All right. Everybody's kind of jumbled up a little bit, but everybody appears to be in good shape. So let's start with our villains here. Here we have the Joker. He's on top of, I don't know, some kind of sludge. I guess the slime that turned him into the Joker. And then we have Harley Quinn with her signature hammer, smashing said hammer. She's like up in the air. That's a cool pose. And then we have Hush himself, who's pretty straightforward. He's just on like a broken down building or something like that. All right. Then we have Superman. So Superman is, again, purple, but we're going to paint these, certainly. Nice big cape, which is cool. But he does have, I don't know if you guys can see this, if we can zoom in even further here, He does have like vines on him because he is controlled. He is the controlled version of Superman. Then we have Batman here. Batman's very dynamic as well. Nice big capes. I feel like there's more capes in the DC universe versus the Marvel universe, but that's a cool pose. Him up on top of the bat signal. Then we have Robin, Tim Drake Robin. He's on top of what looks like a Gotham City building with the gargoyle. He also has a very dramatic cape there. And Catwoman is just plain superhero Catwoman goggles. Interesting name for her character. Nice whip. So there we go. That's her. And then we have the Huntress, who is a character. Maybe she's definitely on top of like a small building. Maybe she is familiar, like seen in the Hush universe. I don't know. So now, my big question for this pack is whether or not we're ever going to be able to get cardboard location and cardboard villain boards. Probably need a knife to get those. So I have all of the, and these are decent. Decent thickness, at least. I have cardboard everything, so it's not the end of the world to have to play, but certainly I probably won't be mixing these with cardboard. I'll probably ever just play, if I'm playing like Hush or controlled Batman, I'll probably just use these locations and then leave the rest. Anyways, here is Hush special setup. He's got one of the heroes in this game must be Batman. Shuffle the Hush plan card, setting aside both bottom of the deck cards. Place a random one at the bottom of the deck and return the other to the box. The Clear Threats mission card is not used in this game. Instead, place the Hush plan deck. The 6 Hush plan cards form the Hush plan mission. Okay. Hush can't be damaged until all 3 missions have been completed. Okay. When a Hush plan card is completed, discard it and reveal the next one. Discarding the last Hush plan card counts as completing the Hush plan mission. Okay, remove the top master plan card so he just pushes the timer faster. Here is controlled Batman. Let's see, special setup here. A non-Kryptonian hero must choose the Kryptonite ring as one of their equipment cards. If Batman is in play, it must be him. Kane Chemicals must be the villain's starting location. Place the Poison Ivy token there. Place the starting master plan card at the top of the, so there's starting master plan cards now. There were starting hero cards, now we have starting master plan cards. And here we have this alert that if Superman controlled is under pressure, deal 3 damage to 1 hero in Superman's location. Move the Poison Ivy token clockwise 1 location unless there are 2 or more heroes in the destination location. Superman can only be damaged by a hero in his location who has the Kryptonite ring. Okay, that makes sense. And yeah, I'm assuming there's probably some more rules in the book. And then we have Joker and Harley Quinn together. Place the starting master, they have a starting master plan. Place the kidnapping card in reach of all players. And they start in the same location. So this is like a little mini Sinister Six or something like that. She's got a under pressure. They each have their own health, pretty low, but so there you go. Those are the 3 villains. We have our own dashboard here, which is nice. It gives you that symbol. So once they're under pressure, that reminds you that if this symbol's on the card, you're going to activate it. DC United on the back, and let's yeah, we're going to need to open these up. All right, here are the locations. Bristol Township. Again, these feel a little bit thicker than like the original game, so maybe they'll lay flat a little bit better. Monarch Theater, Batman Must Spend, so just Batman. Sicily, must be something to do with Hush. We're world traveling here. Roxbury Fielding Academy. Spiral Headquarters. So there's way more than we need to. So this is a good core set here. St. Hadrian's Finishing School for Girls. Okay. Gain chemicals. You may gain 1 movement token. You must play your next hero card randomly. Oh, so you may gain a movement token. You must. So it's not if you. And Amusement Mile, that looks like you may reveal the bottom card of the Master Plan deck. If the total villain movement is even, delay the next villain turn by 1, unless already delayed. In any case, place the card face down in the storyline. So the timer is still advancing, but you're not having negative effects come with you. All right, so let's take a look at some of these cards here. These are pretty standard. We got challenge mode cards. Here's the kidnapping card. Each time there are 3 or more civilians here, discard 3 of these tokens, then draw a Master Plan card and add it. So this is for the Joker and Harley Quinn. And their stuff here is adding punchline. And that appears to be the only fun one. The rest of them are all stars. Okay. And they've actually got a lot of cards here. This feels pretty thick, but your standard stuff here. I'm not going to show them too much because okay, so they each move differently, but then Bam, I guess, is where they are. No, this is just where she is, which pretty much for all of them, it's wherever Harley Quinn is. Okay. And then we have, so this is for Controlled Superman. They are all just heroics. And here is Superman. Where's the starting one? Yeah, here we go. Starting Master Plan. This is the only one I really wanted to look at. Falling under Ivy's control. Accelerate the next villain turn by 1. And that's it. Interesting. Okay. All right, so there's those. Here we have Hush. This is the Hush Plan deck. So this is a separate deck. Defeat Killer Croc. Okay, defeat Poison Ivy. So it's almost like you should wait until, as long as this card is in play, other henchmen, I guess maybe if you've already defeated Harley Quinn, you can just pass on, or whether you need to wait. So here are all the other players. All of these guys will have minis for eventually. And then there's Hush here. He's got a bunch of these symbols here. And there's all his cards. So we don't want to give too much away. Let it be a surprise. And then these should be mostly hero cards. So let's look at these. Superhero, okay. So if you want to play super villain mode, there's those. These are probably super villain mode cards. Yep, super villain mode card. I don't really play that mode much. And here's Superman controlled. So if you want to play with him as a hero, say against Joker and Harley Quinn. I'm guessing he's probably got good movement, good punching. I want to see here. Gain a thing. Heat vision. Okay. During any of your turns, flip this card to double punch, split as you like in your and adjacent locations. So you got to flip it. But you can flip it well after you have. If this card is in your hand, you must play it. Interesting. And he's got a starting card. You must play it. Each time you perform a punch this turn, deal 1 damage to another hero. Interesting. So you're taking the risk of playing with him that you're going to see that card. Invulnerability, you may ignore 1 damage. And so like this symbol means as long as this card is face up, it's got an effect. So I like these symbols that they've added. You may ignore 1 damage during each villain turn. If you do, you may punch in your location. So that's nice. He's very powerful, but again, at the risk of this card coming up. We have Catwoman, goggles, standard stuff for her. Let's see. Master of Disguise. During any villain turn, flip this card to ignore damage equal to the number of people at your location. Extra punches, Master Thief, and she's got a starting card. You can redirect damage you would take and tokens you're given to other heroes in your location. Okay. Let's see here. Huntress. Boom, 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 boom. Let's Standard stuff for her. Look at the top card of the deck. You may put at the bottom. And no starting card for her. Motivated by revenge. If you defeat 2 or more thugs or henchmen this turn, at the end of your turn, you may gain 1 or 1 token. So that's nice. Play that when you have an awesome turn. Here's Robin. Robin was always my favorite DC character. Robin and Superman. Let's see. Master Martial Artist, Meditation. You can't be given Crisis tokens till the beginning of its turn. Interesting. Tactical Analysis. No starting card for him either. Reveal the top card of the Master Plan deck if it will add more. Lots of choices there. Okay. And Batman. Classic Batman with the gray and the blue. Defeat all at your location. That's a nice one. Mentoring. If Robin is about to be KO'd during a villain turn, flip this card to avoid Robin discarding his last card. That's cool. I like that one. Does he have a starting card? Yes. Bat Gadgets. Recharge up to 2 of your equipment cards at the end of your turn or gain 1 token. Oh, but so you don't have to play this at the beginning. That's a nice. So, and last but not least, we have our gadgets. So we got battle plans here. I don't really play that mode much. Makeshift weapons. Interesting. The Kryptonite Ring. So this is what we're going to need to have to defeat Superman. Once on your turn, if any Kryptonite villain or henchman is in your location, you may punch against them. Okay. And then we have here lots of, these are all Batman classics. I love it. Obviously, he's not going to be able to carry all of these, and you have to give up, I think you can carry 2 at a time, but you have to give up your wild cards to have them. Grapple, Cape Wings, Armored Gauntlets, Lie Detector, and Antidote. Maybe Batman has a special ability where he doesn't have to use those. Robin, Tim Drake's got the motorcycle. That's cool. Huntress has a lot of cool stuff here. Crossbow and also a motorcycle. And the whip can go adjacent. Goggles. Use on your turn. This turn, you may ignore locations, permanent, and end-of-turn effects that would affect you. That's a nice one. And then last but not least, we have these makeshift ones. Any hero can have mini mines, smoke pellets, flashbangs, flares, body armor, comlink, airlift, and makeshift weapon, which is a lamppost. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. That is everything in DC United Batman's Hush. Again, this is, if you went all in like I did, you are not going to be receiving this game in your all-in pledge. This was only ever going to be released in retail. They said it was going to be released early. So this is a great way to dip your toe into DC United while you're waiting for the rest of the campaign to deliver, or maybe this is your first iteration into any of the Uniteds. I will let you know whether I feel like this is a good starting one, but this looks to be like a great core box option. So we'll certainly be doing a playthrough here at some point on the channel, so keep an eye out for that. Otherwise, if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know in the comment section below. And thanks for watching. Have a great day.